Hey, we gotta talk about War Thunder and shit. Cause people be out here like, oh, they have a bias towards Russian vehicles. Ace Combat has a bias towards Russian airplanes as well. If you know how to use an Su-35S, you can really piss off a lobby. I'm gonna let you know. If you know what parts to unlock and put that bitch, you could really piss off a lobby. That and the Su-30, the one with the canards on it though. Not the one without the canards. The one with the canards you can piss a whole lobby off too. Same with the Su-47, but it's harder to do because you can't get 6 AAMs or 8 AAMs on the fucking Su-47. But you could still piss the lobby off with it. Yeah. So, because I only say that because I've never done that one. I pissed the lobby off with the other two, but not with the Su-47. I was just in a lobby that really pissed me off with the Su-47 though. They was telling lies to me. This little Kodak, the finesse kid, boy, who high is me? So anyways, back on topic. So I think there's a reason that this bias exists. I think there's a logical reason this bias exists. I think it's partly the same reason why in Ace Combat 7, if you get the DLC F2, that shit you can piss a whole lobby off real easy. Because where's Ace Combat 7 made? Japan. There's obviously going to be a natural love for the homeland, especially if you buy the copy that you have to pay extra money for. So that's how I look at it. Like the same one is like the MiG-35D, you can piss a whole lobby off. It's a DLC plane. Like all the, you get any of the DLC Top Gun planes, you can piss a whole lobby off. Any of them. Dark Star, piss a whole lobby off. Next 5th gen whatever, piss a whole lobby off. Fucking, that one's harder to do from what I've seen. I don't use that one or the Dark Star, but I know I've been pissed off by Dark Star a lot. So there's a logical reason behind some of them, especially the DLC planes, because I know from, like people talk shit about pay to win all the time, but from a developer, distributor standpoint, as a company selling shit that's DLC, you kind of want it to be pay to win. You kind of want to be like, hey, people are going to spend this amount of extra money because they want this. But see, Ace Combat does that right because you could still win against that shit if you got the shit in the regular game and know how to use it. But from what I've heard with War Thunder and Gaijin, I've heard it's just terrible. Like, I've sort of seen it because I know the Russian biplane that you start out with is nasty for no reason, so I'll just be using it. But like with that, I feel like there's a level of real world experience that backs the stats behind Russian hardware. Like there's a whole country like Turkmenistan or Turkey or some shit where the S400 is like or the S300, S200, one of them is as symbolic as the AK-47 is to like defending their country. Like they literally have statues of the shit put in the town square. Like I think it's the S300 or S200. It's one or the other. But you gotta think about like the S125, way old system. Fucking when I didn't realize this till like recently, but when you go on them missions in Delta Force where you gotta destroy SAMs, that's the SAMs you're destroying are S125s. So I think there's enough real world experience behind Russian hardware where it's like, well, it's been used more than any other shit. Think about it. Anytime NATO goes and fights somebody, what are they using? AK-47s, BMP-2s, BRDMs. You know what I'm saying? BTR-60s. So I think there's a reason that this bias exists. Ace Combat doesn't have it as bad. Because really it's just them 3 Russian planes that are like nasty. Like the other ones are eh. Anything without canards too, is except for the Su-35S is eh. The MiG-35D is alright, but that's a DLC. So it's like, I see why it happens. But at the same time, it's like, I know certain competitors and developers are worse about it than others. There is, like I said, a logic for it where this shit has been used in, it's battle tested. You know what I'm saying? The Su-34, battle tested. Just like the F-16, battle tested. Now, people can argue about the F-16 and the A-10 and shit and say, well, listen, it was very successful against countries that didn't have air forces. The problem is the F-16 and Desert Storm, Iraq had like the 4th or 3rd largest air force in the world. Russia sold them the 3rd largest air force and was like, hey, go fuck with Iran. See if the Americans will come fuck with you. Go fuck with this little place called Kuwait over here. See what happens. We want to watch this unfold. It was definitely some dude in shades like me. He was very light-skinned talking to Saddam Hussein saying, hey, go fuck with Kuwait. Let's see what happens. You gotta love the Russians, man. You gotta love it. They funny as hell, bro. They funny as hell, bro. I'm out in this.